Hi, everybody. We're back for another episode of Flight Crew. Hi, this is Jay Ellenby, president of Safe Harbors Business Travel. I'm excited to introduce you to today Rob Brown, who is the managing director of B2B Strategy at Southwest Airlines. Yes, every day I get the question, what is going on with Southwest Airlines? With all the changes taking place between bags flying free, and seat assignments. So Rob is here to answer those questions today. Join me in welcoming aboard to a next episode. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to Flight Crew with Jay Ellenby.
Rob, thank you so much for joining us.
Jay, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and look forward to our conversation today.
Absolutely. Southwest is going through a lot of things, but before we get into that, I want to give you an opportunity. What do you do with a title like that? And I know you have a lot of other titles, but what do you do? What is it like to be in the life of Rob Brown at Southwest Airlines?
Yeah, essentially, Jay, I have the fortune of sort of representing one of the pillars within our Southwest business organization. Most of the teams and strategy that I oversee is all behind the scenes. It's not necessarily directly customer facing. So our team oversees all of our relationships with our third party distribution partners, GDSs and corporate booking tools. We also manage our internal distribution tools on the B2B side, as well as a little bit on the B2C side. But our SWABIZ portal that has been out there for years is part of the management that we have, as well as our API, Direct Connect. But then I also have TMC strategy. I also have sort of our services side of things, where we've got a service team within Southwest Business that helps to situate and answer questions of all of our top corporate customers, our Southwest Business customers, when they have disruptions or anything like that post booking their reservations. And then there's two other teams, our sales ops, which is all of our Salesforce and CRM responsibilities. And then finally, the newest team that was added to my plate earlier this year, our customer success team. That's the team that goes out after a contract is signed and makes sure that that corporation, that TMC and the booking tool have everything aligned to set everybody up for success. So that's sort of the team as a whole. I've got some great leaders that I have the fortune of working with on a day-to-day basis. And I do whatever my leaders and bosses tell me to do, but mainly work with those teams to try to position them for success.
All right. So when do you sleep with all that going on there?
A couple hours a day. That's about it.
Or better yet, when do you golf, Rob?
Well, the last time you saw me golf.
And for everybody out there, Rob and I had the great opportunity of golfing together 2 years ago or so. And
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun. So we had a great time getting to know each other and spend some time. So
It was
let's roll right into it. Yeah. I'm out there and we have customers and clients. They often ask us, and I'm out at a simple dinner, and somebody asked me, Jay, what is going on with Southwest? What is the airline that I knew that I got free bags and I can pick any seat, but now they're going to seats and now they're going to be charging for bags? Why? What was behind that? What was behind the decision making of the transition?
Yeah, well, I agree. Southwest has been sort of under a major transformation, and we have introduced a lot of change to the brand. And I think that a lot of the things that many of our loyal customers for years were accustomed to sort of experiencing with Southwest are sort of along with us on this transformation ride. So, we think that it's an ideal opportunity to show the full scope of what our brand kind of offers in the marketplace. And while 2 free check bags was certainly a well-loved policy, it didn't represent the entirety of our brand. And as our CEO, Bob Jordan, has shared previously, our brand is a lot more than just the individual policies that we had. First, we feel like we have an opportunity to highlight, the convenience and reliability of our flight schedule. And in many of the locations that we serve across the country, our nonstop service and breadth of service to different locations is unmatched by a lot of our competitors. So that's an opportunity for us to share that experience with a lot of the customers that we have. Our customers love our amazing fares. And while we're not the $29 fare sales of old, we do and are intentional about continuing to offer low fares on a consistent basis. In fact, we've got a 40% off sale right now that's going on. So make sure that everyone kind of takes advantage of that before the end of the day today. But we've also got a great rapid rewards program that's award winning that we think adds a lot of value to what our customers offer. And last but not least, our people. And that's the one thing that will never change with Southwest. While we may change some of our policies and some of the things that we're doing, our people is the true secret sauce. They offer friendly, reliable, great customer service and hospitality. And that's what Southwest has always been known for. We'll continue to offer that going forward, and our customers can continue to experience that. But, again, bags flat free was a long-standing policy that we offered, and it offered a lot of great value. And we knew that when we took that away, that we would be disappointing some customers. But we feel now that while that benefit was offered by us and no other sort of airlines in the industry, we still have a lot to offer that we think customers will love us for. We have been satisfied with the lack of impact that this decision has had on and bookings and behavior from our customers. So we think that a lot of the transformation that we're introducing right now will not only give us the opportunity to retain a lot of the customers that we've always had, but an opportunity to engage and acquire some new customers that we have not had an opportunity to maybe experience with our brand in the past, because we now have things like assigned seats and other benefits that we offer with our brand.
So thank you for sharing that, Rob. If you can clarify for everybody out here, what are the dates of implementation? Let's start with seats. When's the expectation for that rollout?
Yeah, so the sale of seats, I am happy to report, actually went live last week. I think it was the 29th of July was sort of now, if you are buying a fare on Southwest that is for travel post January 27th of 2026, you will have the opportunity to select a seat with your seat purchase or with your fare purchase. So the sale went live of seats last week, and it's in effect for travel January 27th, 2026 and beyond.
Okay. All right, good. So that's seats, and then baggage. I believe the baggage policy is already in place, right?
Bags went live in May of this year.
Right. Okay, good. So when are you going to bring back that $29 fare?
When a lot of things change in the economy, unfortunately, I don't think that we could, in this state, offer that up. But again, we've got great fares. We're always offering up great fare sales. So we still are intentional about offering everyday low fares. The one thing that I would like to add, Jay, back to bags, we will continue to offer certain customers that are either tier and loyalty members of A-List and A-List Preferred the opportunity to still have free bags, as well as if you are holders of our Southwest Airlines credit card. So while the previous policy offered bags fly free for everyone, again, we had to sort of transform from that particular policy and evolve. And we are now offering it still to some of our loyalty customers, as well as some of our credit card holders. And if you purchase a certain fare bundle, you can receive a free bag as well.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So A-List, A-List Preferred, credit card holders, and bundle can get you free bags.
Yes.
Okay. How about for seat preferential? Is there anything specific there with respect to being A-List or anything like that?
Yeah, similar to on the bag side. Again, if you are an A-List or A-List Preferred member, you have the opportunity to either, if you're A-List, I think have the possibility of upgrading to an extended legroom seat within 24 hours of your flight. And if you are A-List Preferred, I think that is at the time of booking, you get the benefit of selecting that extended legroom service, and similar benefits with the credit card as well.
Good. So with that comes a lot of tech upgrade changes. Let's call it changes. Implementing seats, which is it's a significant push to have that kind of technology in place. And then luggage, maybe not as much the luggage, but you still have to obviously have to manage that. But certainly seats by far is a significant technology difference. What have you done to ensure that it's going to be a smooth transition to that level?
Yeah. Our objective is to give customers more control over the type of experience they want to have when they fly Southwest Airlines. And our new fare bundles sort of reflect those broader choices that we are now offering up to our customers. For example, we now offer a basic fare, which we hadn't offered before, but that basic fare will now give those customers that prioritize cost over benefits an opportunity to fly and have that experience with Southwest. We also offer for customers that want additional benefits. We offer products that incrementally adds benefits tailored to the need of their experience based on how they buy up in the fare bundle. We are also offering new ancillaries. I mentioned it a bit in the previous response, but extra legroom seats that provide additional choice for customers outside of just a bundled fare product. If you want to buy up into an extra legroom seat, you'll have the opportunity to do that. So we expect the fare products to be attractive to a broader set of customers, again, helping us to gain loyalty and retain loyalty with customers that we've had in our portfolio, as well as customers that we have not had an opportunity to have as part of our experience, because these are things that they've wanted from their travel experience and that we haven't offered before. But we're also using all of the channels that we have at our disposal to educate customers about what we are now offering from a customer experience. We're using email, we're using social and digital media to make sure that we are providing the travel community with the information that they need about how Southwest has transformed and how we are giving them the choice that they're looking for in their travel experience.
So, with that in mind, then, with all the changes taking place, how are you working? Clients of ours are going to say, well, how are they working with you, Safe Harbors? How are they working with you to make sure that these transitions are implemented correctly and on time? What would you say to that in working with travel management companies?
Yeah. So, Jay, I think as you know, we've got what we call our TMC influencer board. So we are once a month on a call with our TMCs that make up our influencer board, and educating them on all of the different things that we're doing with as part of our transformation, with seats, with boarding, with fares, and all of the changes that we're making across our system. We've also been very active with the ARC Aerogram, where we have constantly sent out ARC Aerograms to educate the entire TMC community regarding all of the changes that we've had within our of offerings and with our fares and with our bundles and all of the different products that we're offering. Additionally, we've got a resource, Southwest Business Assist, which is our travel portal. And within that travel portal, we've provided a link that all travel agencies and TMCs can access that give you not only inside information into all of the changes that we're making, but also our ticketing policy and other things that would be helpful for TMCs to have as they are booking travel for our mutual customers. So we are very intentional about staying engaged, not only with the customers through all of the different mediums that I mentioned earlier, but also the key intermediaries and partners on the TMC side to make sure not only do our TMCs understand how our product is evolving and transforming, but the customers that they are serving also have that insight.
What do you think now separates Southwest from the other legacy carriers who have had longstanding tradition of seats and bags and so on? What separates you now from them?
Yeah, well, I would first start with the people. Again, we are very intentional about our hiring practices and making sure that the people that we bring on to Southwest Airlines is not only a good fit for the role that we are hiring them for, but that they are a great fit for our culture. And I've gotten the question, Jay, as we've gone through this transformation, how is Southwest going to keep the culture alive? Well, if I can quote our, President Emeritus, Colleen Barrett, God rest her soul, but she told us years ago that culture lives with each of us. So it's my responsibility. It's every other Southwest employee as well as leaders' responsibility to ensure that our culture is alive, because it's our culture which is driven by our people who provide legendary hospitality and service on a day-to-day basis to our customers. That's the culture of Southwest Airlines. That's what truly will separate us from everyone else. Take it a step further. I'd say we are still the largest domestic carrier in terms of nonstops within the domestic U.S. So that's, again, another differentiator between us and our competitors. Another is our reliability. I think that when you look at for the first 6 or 7 months of this year, Southwest is number one in on-time performance amongst the major carriers, as well as reliability of running our day-to-day operations. So while a lot has changed and we have gone away from some of those sort of one-size-fit-all type policies that we've had in the past, bring us to grow into who we are and who we have become as Southwest Airlines, there are still a lot of benefits and a lot of reasons why people should choose Southwest Airlines. It always starts with our people, but we've got a great loyalty program. We've got a great schedule. We got a reliable schedule, and we are just excited to serve every customer that boards our plane. So those are the things that I think are still differentiators for Southwest. And
All right, so let me come out of left field for you on this one.
okay.
What do you think? What do you think your founder, Southwest founder Herb Kelleher, would say about the current changes taking place?
Well, there's a famous quote that all of our leaders always start with whenever we're introducing any level of change, whether it's small change or big change. And it's a Herb quote that says, "If you don't change, you die."
There you go.
Herb was in favor of ensuring that we don't rest on our laurels, that we stay committed to doing all of the things that we needed to do as a carrier to not only stay viable, but to continue to deliver on the expectations of our customers. We're always a company that listens to our customers, and our customers were telling us that coming out of the pandemic, buying behaviors changed. We needed to make a change that matched the travel experience that they've sort of demanded from the travel industry. So Herb's quote was said years ago, but it's still relevant today. If you don't change, you die.
So true. So true. Absolutely. You have to, and you have to find a way to be ahead of the curve as well. So, which there are a lot of challenges in our industry. There are a lot of challenges in our economy. And specifically for Southwest, you are 100% Boeing. And where other carriers have a mix between other aircraft. Boeing's had a rough time over the past couple of years, and I'm sure it's been a challenge to get delivery either on time or yeah, on time. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, is that do you find that holds you back as an organization, as a company, and being so locked in on one supplier like that?
Yeah, there's still an abundance of benefit to having the partnership, the longstanding partnership that we've had with Boeing now since our existence. And a lot of those benefits are still with us today. Yes, Boeing has certainly had some challenges here recently, but we are still committed to being a good partner with Boeing and continuing that partnership going forward. We've updated our 2025 aircraft delivery assumption from 38 to 47 deliveries this year as Boeing continues to sort of ramp up that production. We continue to be encouraged by the progress being made by Boeing, and we're pleased to have received 17 aircraft delivery in the second quarter of this year. And as we have previously communicated, additional deliveries of new aircraft will give us increased fleet flexibility that we're committed to keeping a full year capacity growth at up to about 1% this year. So Boeing has continued to partner very closely with us and work with us. We've continued to get, great production out of them despite some of the challenges that they had. So we're excited. We continue to be committed to Boeing, and we can't speak to how other carriers run their fleet operation. But again, we're pleased with what we are receiving from Boeing and look forward to continuing that operation.
Good. So you already talked about the secret sauce being in the people,
Yeah.
and clearly in the hiring practices. But how do you keep it on going? How do you make sure that, let's put it this way. I don't think I've ever been on any other airline where you have, the flight attendants, they're always very humorous. 9 out of 10 times, they're always very humorous, either when you're taking off or landing. Get out of the plane, that kind of thing, being funny,
Yeah.
just having fun, having a good time with the passengers, and the passengers enjoy it. They love it. I don't think I've ever been on any other airline when you land, people clap. What is this? But that's all by design. I know it's all by design and how you do, and that's what you do in building your culture. How do you maintain? There's one thing about hiring, but with all the stress involved and the scheduling, I'm sure there's a level of burnout, just like any other company. But how do you keep it exciting for your teams and staff and flight attendants to be that much fun every day.
Yeah, one of the things that we encourage our employees when we hire them is to continue to be their authentic selves, to not suppress their personality, but to leverage that as part of the hospitality that we deliver on a day-to-day basis. We don't want robots. We want people that will engage in the business of people, in the business of customers, and making sure that we put that first and foremost at the top of our hearts and our minds every day when we come into the office. So we encourage the personality of all of our employees, whether you're a flight attendant or whether you are at the ticket counter, whether you're a pilot or whether you're here in Southwest Business. We want everyone's authentic personality to sort of be at the heart of what we are doing and delivering on a day-to-day basis for our customers. But the heart and soul of Southwest is, has always been and will continue to be our people and the legendary hospitality that our customers have come to expect from us. We expect them and give them the autonomy to deliver to our customers in whatever way fits their unique personality. Again, we don't want robots. We don't want you to necessarily to try to be exactly as the person you're serving with shoulder to shoulder. We want you to be you, but both of you are focused on delivering that legendary hospitality to our customers. So, that's really the secret sauce. That's where we're focused on with our people and how we serve our customers is, continuing to let your personality be at the heart of who we are and delivering that legendary customer service on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it is quite evident in the amount of time and effort that you do put into it and hiring the right people and making sure that they are fully up to speed and trained well and they get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that secret sauce. But it's not only just on the flights. As you know, I've been to your headquarters and it's there as well. So it's more than just the flights. It's also in your office space and the people involved. So I applaud you. I applaud
Yeah.
you for
Yeah.
having an environment like that.
And that's something that, is from the top down and from the bottom up. Everyone is encouraged to lead with personality, but also lead with the heart of serving. And that's why it's sort of contagious within the building and throughout our system is because that is just, sort of transformed into what we do on a day-to-day basis.
So, what is your growth strategy moving forward beyond the transition right now between seats and bags and so on, some of the upgrades and the aircraft and so on? But what is your strategy, either domestically and internationally, moving forward?
We announced our first two international partnerships from an international perspective with Iceland Air and China Airlines. I'm actively pursuing additional like-minded partners to provide more options that kind of help meet the needs of travel needs of our customers that they haven't had before, had an opportunity to experience before from both a transatlantic and trans-Pacific perspective. So we're excited to be able to offer up those opportunities to our customers. Iceland Air went live earlier this year, I believe in February, and China Airlines will be coming on board in January, I believe, of 2026. So we're excited about both of those sort of international presence. The other sort of change that we've made to our operation and just how we are growing as an airline is we began offering red-eye flights earlier this year from Las Vegas, from Los Angeles and Phoenix based on high local demand from customers and the need to connect from large stations and connect our flight crew bases over to the East Coast. So those are just a few of the things that we've announced in terms of how we continue to grow. Of course, the international appeal of customers, particularly the Southwest customer, and being able to connect them to different parts of the world, I think is really a great opportunity for us.
We've had your content forever,
Yeah. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Safe Harbors, so it's
Yeah.
been forever. And I was actually trying to remembering being that we're Baltimore based. You pretty much dominate. You do dominate Baltimore, especially after you acquired Air. Who was that? You did an acquisition over the carrier, AirTran?
Yeah. We purchased AirTran
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so just from there, I think you maybe have about 70, maybe 80% of the lift out of there. So it's, hey, I always enjoy flying Southwest.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And I remember when you first came into the market, and I think it was in the early 90s.
94.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 94. And I remember your competition, they didn't know what to do with you. They didn't know what they were coming in and telling us any kind of story that they could think of. Probably some things that we don't really want to repeat on this recording. So I do have one personal request. If you can get a couple more flights going into O'Hare out of
Yeah.
Baltimore, I would appreciate that so I can visit my new grandson, our new grandson.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Midway's good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
O'Hare would be even better.
Well, I know the guys over in network planning. I'll put in a good word for you, Jay.
Please do. Please do. So we talked about a lot. We talked about between technology, seats, bags, the secret sauce, people, and your growth and so on, domestic, international, and your partners. Is there anything else? Anything else you would like to share?
Well, the one other thing, I think, just sticking with the growth, about a week or so ago, we announced that we're going to be starting service to St. Thomas.
Yeah,
So
right.
adding the U.S. Virgin Islands to our destinations in the Caribbean, I think, is just another example of Southwest looking to grow as a carrier and provide a great experience for our customers. This is our first new destination since 2021, and it'll be our ninth island destination. So we're excited about being able to start service in St. Thomas. Again, that'll be in early 2026. So just, more great, news from Southwest and more ways that we're transforming our brand and our product to meet the needs of current customers and future customers to come.
That's great news. I did see that about St. Thomas. Have you been? Have you been to St. Thomas?
I have it, and I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, yeah. Now you have an opportunity.
That's right.
My previous life, when I was in the Navy, I was on board an aircraft carrier,
Okay.
and my first port, we're talking about over 5,000, close to 6,000 guys, full ship. We pulled into St. Thomas, and I think the entire island ran. So right away, we see this ship coming in, this aircraft carrier. But yeah, that was my first port, so that does bring back some good memories. I can share some of those stories with you next time we go golfing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear those stories.
Anyway, Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board with us, and thank you for joining.
Yeah.
And it's great to see all the great things you're doing and what Southwest is doing as you progress, because you're absolutely right. If you don't change, you die.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Jay, thanks for having me today. It's been great connecting with you again and good to see you. And thank you for giving us an opportunity to share all of the great things that's happening here at Southwest.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Rob.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.